What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Ascended Dead, entitled Abhorrent Manifestation. This is released on Dark Descent Records, Invictus Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of San Diego, California, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark, morbid, traditional style of death metal. Yeah. Over the last couple of years, this has been a band that has been making a very, very well-established name for themselves within the death metal worlds and within the extreme music underground. Putting out a very, very solid amount of material, from a really awesome 2012 demo to an EP in 2014 called Arcade Malevolence, to a series of very solid compilation releases with the Advent and Ritus Mortis. Just some really, really incredible death metal. I mean, this is death metal that could get a lot of influence not only from within the US, but also countries like Sweden. I'm getting a little bit of that Swedish death metal sort of vibe in some of this band's music. Just some really awesome death metal, great vocals, amazing riffs, top-notch drumming, audible bass, great artwork to boot. But now things have come full circle for this band in the form of their debut full-length entitled Abhorrent Manifestation. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 37 minutes in length, and pretty much this is, without question, one of the heaviest death metal albums you will have the privilege of listening to in 2017. I mean, this is a band that embodies what underground death metal is all about. The look, the feel, the sound quality, it just is all intact here with Abhorrent Manifestation, and you hear it upon the opening riffs of The Promised Time all the way to the very last track of this record. I really, really am very much in love with this album, and this definitely would see a spot in my top 10 of this year. I really do feel it's that amazing. And speaking of riffs, this album is chock full of them. And every riff on this album sounds phenomenal. The way the guitar sound is, the tone, the way everything is played, the franticness, the chaoticness, it's just scary sounding, to say the least bit. And I think every riff that appears on this album works out very well. I mean, once again, mentioning the opening track, The Promised Time, then you get to songs like Bloodthirst, Ensnared for Eternity. Really, really love the riffs on that song. Fissure of Chaos, that's another really amazing song to be paying attention to. Just some really top-notch guitar riffing going on with those songs. Just the structure, the balance, the way everything sounds, it really does make for a great guitar performance. The bass work on here is very good too. Pretty much what you would expect from a bass performance on a death metal record like this. Very audible, very clear, very in tune with the atmosphere of this record. It just sounds wonderful, and I really do think this bass tone accompanies everything quite nicely. Another highlight for me of this album is the drumming. Very sensational drumming, and I would have to say that this guy is pretty much one of the heritage behind the band like this. I mean, I believe he also plays in Golgotha and Funebrarum, and I believe he did work on that Necrosic EP that came out last year. Dude's just an amazing drummer, and here in this band, he has a really awesome time to shine here. Like, going back to the song Fissure of Chaos, that opening drum fill will just get stuck in your head so much. I mean, there's just a certain amount of amazingness to come out of his drum performance on that song. But as far as the rest of the album is concerned, the fills, the blast beats, just the overall pomp and circumstance this guy brings to the drumming on this album really makes things all the more entertaining, and he really brings forward a very awesome pace for this album. It's a 37-minute long album, but he makes the pace go by so smoothly. I mean, this is something that will make you want to listen to this album over and over again. Such an amazing drum performance this guy does. And when it comes to the vocals, I really like this vocalist style. He has a very sort of high register sort of scream and growl. It's very well worded and articulate, very venomous. I just love how this guy sounds. He has a great vocal delivery and very much appropriate for this kind of style of death metal. Very much frantic and chaotic. Just like the guitar riffing and soloing that you hear on this record, the vocals have that sense of urgency. And I really, really love the urgentness that comes from the vocals here. Just in what he's talking about, how he delivers things, it just really sounds awesome. I really had a great time listening to this album. So overall, if you're a fan of classic sounding death metal, if you're into US death metal, European death metal, or just any kind of death metal in general, Ascended Dead have delivered probably one of the best debut albums to come out this year. A lot of high class, a lot of energy, a lot of great pacing, a lot of great riffs and drumming, great vocal work. This is a total package death metal release and one of the best of 2017. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say The Promised Time, Bloodthirst, Ensnared for Eternity, Subconscious Barbarity is another solid track, Fissure of Chaos, and the closing track, Inerexible Death. Amazing song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box. That's how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Ascended Dead Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. I will link you to the band's Bandcamp page so you can support them directly, and I will also leave you a link to where you can purchase the physical copy. It is currently available as a CD right now. I believe Invictus Productions is going to put out a vinyl version, and there will also be a tape version as well, and this band is pretty good at doing live stuff, so if they happen to be playing live anywhere near you, go definitely check them out. So, again, the album is Abhorrent Manifestation by Ascended Dead. This is released on Dark Descent Records and Invictus Productions. Go support this, and for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. One of the best of 2017 as far as death metal is concerned. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it. Or any of you guys into Ascended Dead, let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Army Ho out.